So now in this video, if you've got the overall state diagram in front of you that went from steps 1 all the way to I think step 17 at the end. So in the previous video, we went through step 1 and we said, what happens if I can't get into the router, into the default gateway? And we looked at the various causes and ways you could identify what may have caused that problem. So now we're going to go into step number 5 in the flow chart, which is I was able to get into my default gateway. And the next thing is I want to check to see if the relevant interfaces are up. So what do I mean by relevant interfaces? Well, I've got a section of my network. I've got this group of employees here who are complaining that they can't get to the internet. Okay? So relevant interfaces would mean on their default gateway, what interface leads down to them? And also, what interface would go upstream towards the internet or towards the resources they're trying to access? I want to check to make sure both of those interfaces are up. Now remember, if you're a CCNA, you should know what up means. The first up means at the physical layer. Are the interfaces receiving electrical connectivity? Do they know they're connected to something? And then the second up is relating to the data link layer, layer 2 of the OSI model. Whatever data link layer protocol is running across those interfaces, is it happy? Is it communicating with whatever it's connected to on the other side at that layer? Okay, so how would I identify if an interface is up? Well, my most favorite command is show IP interface brief. Of course, there's other commands as well, show interface, but I find this one is a nice condensed view of my router and telling me what the interfaces are. So for example, in case you've never seen that command before, show IP interface brief. And if my interfaces are fast Ethernet 00 and fast Ethernet 01, I want to see they're both status is up, protocol is up. And I say, uh-oh, here's a problem. Fast Ethernet 0/1 is down. Okay, so I want to make sure they're both up. That's what I'm looking for. Now, what if they're not? Now, clearly, if one is administratively down, that would be an issue because once again, I'm assuming that I'm in control of this router. I haven't touched it in a long time. It was working fine. So why would an interface suddenly become administratively down? That leads me back to step 1, which is I suspect somebody hacked this and shut the interface down. That's the only reason it would be administratively down. So, troubleshooting. Let's say that one of those interfaces is like up, down, or down, down. What are some reasons why that might occur? Okay, so number 1, we have to do a visual inspection. Maybe somebody just yanked out a cable, right? Or maybe somebody tripped over the cable and it got pulled out. Or maybe somebody yanked the cable a little bit. It's not entirely pulled out, but it's damaged somehow. The end of it is damaged. So we have to visually look to see, am I still cabled? Is it actually plugged in all the way? Let's just rule out something simple like that. Replace the cable. You know, if it's cabled on both sides to what it's supposed to be, it's plugged in securely, but the lights aren't on, well, maybe I need to replace the cable. Maybe the cable went bad. Now, why would a cable just go bad? Usually cables just don't suddenly, out of the blue, go bad. It's not like they have a mind of their own. Usually something happened to that cable. For example, maybe somebody was rolling a real heavy cart. Maybe that cable goes across the floor, and somebody was rolling a cart, with like 300 pounds of stuff on it, and it sort of made a cut in that cable as it was going across, so the cable was damaged that way. Or maybe somebody slammed against that cable or something accidentally hit it, and it damaged the connector on the end of the cable, and some of the pins were bent or something like that. So that could happen. Now, if the upstream device going to my service provider is using frame relay, let's say, and it says up, down. Okay, it's physically up, but line protocol is down. Well, with frame relay, we use this protocol called the local management interface, LMI, to exchange keep alives between myself and my frame relay provider. Maybe those keep alives have stopped, or there's something weird going on with those keep alives. In other words, it's not my fault, but the frame relay providers started doing something weird. So we can do a debug frame relay LMI to maybe spot that problem. Lastly, talk to any other admins or ISPs. I guess one other thing here that we could look for is sometimes there are security features that you can turn on, and if a security violation happens, that triggers the security feature to bring the interface down. It won't bring it administratively down, but it might cause the interface to go down. So I guess what we could add to this list is just issue the show run command, look at both those interfaces and see, is there some security feature on here that could have caused the interface to trip, basically be triggered and go down? And if so, who triggered that violation? What happened? So once again, from a basic networking troubleshooting perspective, this is the next thing you'd want to check. Are the interfaces up? If one of them's not, these are the most common reasons as to why an interface might not be up when it should be.